for Jay up in Longwood. Go ahead, Jay.
Hello, Larry. Thanks for your time. That old van, real good van, had it for 30 years or so. It's 1-ton Chevy 79, got a 30-gallon gas tank in it. Just went to the Keys, came back, and on the way back, my gas gauge went to just over empty. And I just, can you hear me right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so I just put gas in it about an hour and a half ago. First time I put gas, I dropped the gas tank, put a new spinning unit in it, thinking I was going to solve the problem. I filled up halfway through the tank, got out, looked, went back in, looked. I had just shy of a half tank, completed to fill the tank all the way up, topped it off, drove away, and it's only reading half a tank. I don't know what I could have done wrong, but it's a brand new spinning unit in the tank, and now I've got faced with what do I do about this. So there's only 2 wires involved.
Yeah.
You've got a ground wire, and you've got a little...
Where did you hook your ground to? Did you just screw it right into the body where the old one was, or?
I used the old ground. It was still screwed into the body, nice and sound. It was, I replaced that spinning unit probably 3 years ago for a different reason, chasing the wrong thing. But so anyway, the ground should be fine. Maybe that can a ground get me half a tank when I've got a full tank?
It depends on the resistance. It depends on the resistance. Yes, it could. You could have a bad body ground. You could have a bad body ground on the van and cause that problem. I'll tell you what. Try this. This should kind of help us out a little bit. Get a jumper cable and use the ground side of the jumper cable. Go straight to your battery to anything on the body of the van itself and see if that changes anything. If it makes the gas gauge move, you need to add a body ground from the battery to the body itself. You know, you may have a good ground going from the battery to the motor, or it wouldn't start. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have a good strong ground going to the actual body, that could give you a problem like that. What I always tell folks to do, Jay, just for future reference, is when you're chasing a fuel gauge problem and you've got the tank out, you hook the gauge, you hook that sending unit up before you put it in the tank, and you manually raise and lower that float to make sure that your gauge is reading correctly at that point. If it's not, then chances are you may have a problem with the gauge itself. You know, so I always tell folks, you know, swing that float all the way up and then all the way back down, just to make sure that your gas gauge is reading full sweep, all the way from empty to full and then back to empty. That you know, cuts all the mystery out of it. If you've got a problem when you're sitting there working it up and down by hand, then you're going to have a problem once it's installed in the tank as well. So, but let's check the ground on that first, and then we'll go from there with it. If you need to, you holler back at us or you email me. I appreciate your call, Jay.